Detective Ralph investigates in The Phantom of the Operalf. Part 7.
Me? You're seriously accusing me of a murder?
That's hard to believe, but at least I am no longer wrongfully accused. Yay!
But how did he do it?
And why did he do it?
In order to understand everything, we need to focus on Jennifer, who, as you're all aware of, committed suicide after reading one of Duke Alexander's vicious reviews.
We're not sure why Officer Williamson lied about where the evidence was found, but you should know that along with the poison and the icebox, I found an obituary in Jasper Adamis's dressing room. An obituary written by two people, namely Jennifer's father and Jennifer's sibling.
Sibling? So you're saying Jasper Adams is Jennifer's
brother. If I'm not mistaken, and I am not mistaken, then Jasper Adams is her brother, and the Pharaoh is her father.
What a soap opera!
So, Jasper Adams and the Pharaoh wanted to kill whom they held responsible for Jennifer's tragic death. They wanted to send Duke Alexander to his eternal rest in a particularly humiliating way. And what's more humiliating to a horrible critic than dying in the audience of a live-performed opera at the world-famous Operalf?
The Pharaoh knew about the boulder?
Yes and no. The Pharaoh and his son set up a mechanism to dislodge the boulder, but they used a fake, very light prop boulder made of styrofoam. We found remains of that styrofoam backstage.
Detective, your impertinence amuses me. Ha ha ha! Boulders do not simply fall from the sky.
Oh, it's really easy to tip over a boulder if you place it on an uneven surface. The uneven surface, in this case, was a layer of nuts. Pistachio nuts, to be precise.
I like pistachios.
Pistachios alone won't make it topple, but if the criminals leaned a mobile phone on it and called it at the right time, its vibrations, together with the unstable pistachio standing off the boulder, would make it fall on the Pharaoh's head. Ew.
Oh, this is fascinating. The trick sounds so absurd in theory, but I'm sure it works in practice.
What a farce! The boulder that fell on the Pharaoh, who is totally unrelated to me, was not made of styrofoam. It crushed his head. Are you seriously trying to convey that a synthetic aromatic hydrocarbon polymer made from the monomer styrene cannot do that to people?
No, I only said that you intended the styrofoam to drop on the Pharaoh. What you did not know was that the critic entered the stage at a very early point and sabotaged your mechanism.
I knew it was a good idea to sneak backstage a few hours before the opera actually begins. Oh, what's this? A styrofoam boulder. What's with the pistachios? Ah, I see. It's going to fall down. It would be a shame if somebody replaced this fake boulder with a real one. That's it. I will replace this fake boulder with that real boulder over there that just happens to be backstage in this opera house. It will fall and crash somebody's head. Everybody will buy my paper and tune into the show. It will go viral and I will make millions. Bloody brilliant.
Oi, you there, who are you?
Oh, I am just a technician fixing the lights. Go and fetch me a brandy, boy.
Yes, master.
The pharaoh and his son were not aware that Duke Alexander switched the boulders. Soon after Jasper Adames had arrived at the gates,
We're at the gates.
he activated the deadly trap with his phone and involuntarily harmed his father by dropping the boulder on him. This is why he was so upset about the blood. This is why he constantly questioned every official theory regarding the boulder incident.
You are slapping justice in the face with your defamatory claims.
And after this part of their unexpectedly bloody show, the next step of the murderous plan was ready to unfold.
Well, they put the poison into the ice cube, right?
No, they didn't. Jasper Adames wanted us to think that the poison was in the ice. He stole the ice from the kitchen and then placed one ice cube into the critic's drink when the waiter was distracted. Later on, he was going to plant the vial and the portable icebox in another dressing room, but he didn't have the time to do it.
Another preposterous theory. Why would I do that?
To shift the suspicion onto the waiter. The critic dropped his glass when everybody in the Operalf started panicking. People trampled all over the shards, the ice, the brandy. When inspecting the crime scene, the first thing we assumed was that the poison was in the drink. This assumption made anybody suspicious who came in contact with the glass or the ice. But once I realized that it is impossible to time when exactly the ice would melt, I knew the poison had to be somewhere else.
Then why did Matu Nasro offer me to pass the drink to the critic if he didn't put anything in the glass?
He probably wanted to suck up to him in order to get an honourable mention in his review of Guydee.
Yes, I am a bit ashamed because I normally do not behave like that. But I had to grasp the opportunity. My career means a lot to me. It is all I have left. A bad review would catapult me out of the highest circles of opera society. I would have to return to the mafia and make a living following orders like placing explosives under cars or plotting with the Vatican. I did not want to return to that life.
Wait, if the poison was not in the ice or the drink, then where was it?
We found remains of cyanide on the armrest of Duke Alexander's seat. After Jennifer's performance 4 years ago, she found lots of fingernails scattered around the critic's seat. Jennifer made an unusual remark about them. She said that the fingernails were a positive sign.
Duke Alexander would bite his fingernails whenever he got excited.
That explains Jennifer's comment.
Jasper Adames and the Pharaoh made use of the critic's nail-biting habit to create a deadly trap.
The entire plan with the boulder falling on the Pharaoh had only one purpose: to get the critic excited. He got even more excited once he'd swapped the light rock with a heavy one. And this excitement turned out to be his demise.
Soaked with excitement, he first dug his nails into the poisoned armrest, and then, during all the commotion, proceeded to chew on them. That's really all there is to this trick. He chewed poisoned fingernails.
It sounds so plausible.
Detective, your proficiency leaves me speechless.
Let me repeat your wacky theory. You just said that the Pharaoh is my papa, that we conspired to drop a light boulder on his head to get the critic excited and make him ingest the poison by biting his fingernails. Where is your evidence? Your solution manifestly is a mumbo-jumbo. And even if it did happen like that, then anyone could have done it.
No, you are the only one who had the means to carry out this plan. Matanasro, you're an experienced opera performer. Tell me, are mobile phones allowed on stage during a show?
An opera singer who takes their phone on stage is an unprofessional dilettante. What is more, the Operalf is a place of extremely high standard. Everyone who sings here must leave their phones in the dressing room.
Aha! But Jasper Adames was the first one to call an ambulance when he saw that the boulder that smashed the Pharaoh's head was not the styrofoam boulder he had set up in advance. Why did he have a phone on him despite it being prohibited by the Operalf house regulations.
Because he had to drop the boulder by dialing the number of the other phone.
Precisely. Later, at a point when nobody was paying attention, he must have retrieved the second phone.
Nice try, but I must disappoint you. Your accusations are still no more than infantile muckraking. Speaking of infants, my wife is expecting a baby. Just like she is carrying my youngling, I am allowed to carry a phone on me. And who's to say that one of the other performers, preferably Mauto Nasro, did not have a mobile phone on them as well?
You barbarian! Drop that smug face off your face at once!
Ralph, he's right. We haven't got anything else against him.
I guess this pitiful show is over now. Let the curtain fall. And I thought Johnson singing was the low point of my life. How embarrassing.
Johnson singing? Johnson singing? Johnson singing? Johnson! Sing!
What?
The opera, Guydee. Sing the final dialogue between you and Jasper Adamies.
Alright. Will you love and marry me for eternity, Jasper Adamies?
Jasper Adamies? It's your turn now.
Come on, say your next line, Jasper Adamus.
He won't say anything. He didn't learn any of his lines for the final act because he knew that the opera would come to a swift end before the final act, due to a falling boulder, a critic's death, and a mass panic. This evidence is the ultimate proof. Give up, Jasper Adamies.
Bravo. You have my standing ovations, detective. Yes, the Pharaoh is my father. I was shocked at first when I saw the blood after he got hit by the boulder. Blood was not a part of our plan. But now that you revealed the truth that it was the critic who swapped the boulders, I am even gladder that I freed the world from that monster.
How heartbreaking.
You said I was the phantom of the Operalf detective. But he was the true phantom, a demon who drove my sister into a valley of death. And what makes this even worse is that he had promised me to write only nice things about her. Duke Alexander, this is the first major performance of my sister. I am begging you to praise her in your prestigious reviews.
How charming this sweet brother-in-law is. I assure you I will make her famous. For a little symbolic price, that is, let's say £1,000.
Seems like a reasonable and moral sum of money. I can pay that.
Monthly?
That is immoral and it disgusts me. However, I have no choice but to accept. The beast did not keep his promise, and when I approached him after Jenny committed suicide, he did not show any remorse at all. Why did you not stick to our deal? You scammed me.
Then go on, report me. Nothing will happen. I did make your sister famous after all. Her face is in every newspaper today.
Jenny would still be alive now.
Her performance was objectively dreadful. She was a disgrace for the noble art of opera, and on top of that, a disgrace for her family. Oh well, at least she's still going to sing in the choir invisible.
That was the moment when I swore to myself I would murder that bastard. Performers all around the world endured years of contempt and obloquy. I said to myself, basta! And I approached my father to help me to come up with a seemingly flawless plan.
And then you will bite his nails and die.
The final nail. The finale nail. The last nail in his coffin.
Son, we are masterminds.
As for you, Mattonasro, I knew everything about your criminal activities in the past. I did not want my darling sister to get involved with the mafia too, so the romance between you made me very, very angry. Even though Jenny died long ago, the flame of hatred towards you was still burning, so I wanted to send you to prison once again.
I am glad you did not succeed. The Mattonasro of the past would have put cement shoes on you and thrown you in a pool, but the Mattonasro of the present forgives you.
Feel free to arrest me, detective. I have fulfilled my purpose.
Excellent. I love cooperative criminals. Please follow me, Jasper Adamies.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, detective.
Yes?
I am shocked again.
Ralph, why is he pointing a gun at you?
But of course, the obituary did not specify the number of siblings. It merely said that Jennifer was a daughter and a sister to somebody.
Yes, I am her second brother.
That's why you were covering up for Jasper Adamies, and that's why you tried to blame Mattonasro for all the crimes as well.
I realised everything when Johnson found the evidence in Jasper Adamies' dressing room. I knew I had to act to protect Jazzy Boy. Brother, I won't let them take you in.
Stop it, Willy boy. Resistance is pointless now.
Williamson, please put down your gun. Remember what they taught you at Police Academy? Follow the values of the police. Put down the gun. Stop threatening innocent people. You are a guardian of justice.
You will never understand. All my life, I wanted to be a good policeman and follow the law. But when I found out my brother was a murderer, it became personal. Have I abandoned justice? Maybe. Has justice abandoned me? Maybe. First, I assaulted Johnson to cover up the truth. Then I pointed my finger at an innocent man.
I told you I was innocent.
Isn't it a conflict, detective? I am like Guydee in Guydee.
Guydee had to choose between her people and her lover, Jasper Adamies.
And I have to choose between the police and my brother Jasper Adamies. No, I cannot betray my value, but I cannot betray my family either. This is too much for me. I can only do one thing to escape from this dilemma. Farewell, oyster shell.
No, brother!
Detective, we've got news from the hospital. The Pharaoh, he's passed away.
No, father!
Oh, don't forget about your sister.
No, sister.
What a tragic end to a tragic case.
We should write an opera all about this Mattonasro.
Good idea, Guydee. Thank you for the inspiration, detective.
You're welcome. The case is closed. Come in.
The office just received a postcard from Becky Beckinsale.
Oh wow, I didn't expect that. Where did she go?
She went to Norway to do some hiking and kayaking.
Good for her. Anything else?
Yes, there's also a letter from the Minister for Culture. She thanks you for solving the case at the Operalf and invites you to the opening ceremony of a new aquarium. The Ralph Aquarium.
No.